how do you discover which was your dominant eye?
Oh, okay. That's good.
Great
It's
question.
very simple. It's very, very simple. All right. So pick something small, more than 10 or 12 feet away from you. So it could be all the way across the room. And keep both eyes open during this time. So people tend to want to cheat for some reason, but don't do it, right? Keep both eyes open. And then at the with your arms fully outstretched, make a little hole right there. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it where my camera is. Okay? Can you see my eye? Or is that too much to ask? You can see my eye?
I can see your eye. I don't know if everybody
Okay,
else.
good. Now, I'm looking through the little hole and I see it with one eye, right? So I'm going to watch this. I'm going to close my left eye. Now you see my left eye closing. Now I'm going to close my right eye. So I am left eye dominant. So whichever eye you see that object across the room with is your dominant eye. And that means that you want to intentionally use your dominant eye to see things. So sometimes people don't know that. And so they're in the middle of their vision. But if I intentionally go, okay, I'm looking with my left eye, then I'm seeing better because of that. It's an interesting thing that has helped me, especially on return of serve in tennis. I did see one about exercising your eyes, and in the offers there are some. I will also share with you some ways that you can exercise your eyes, and there are different ways to do that, both for greater acuity and also for better, smoother tracking of the muscles of your eye. So there are a lot of different things to do. But yeah, I'm sharing that with people who reach out to me at the end.
Perfect. Let's see here. I'm not sure, Michelle, if I understand your question, if I can use regular colored light that I have by Smart Life. I think that was in reference back when you were talking about the Blaze pods, but I don't know. Do you understand that question, or does she need to elaborate?
Let me read it. Maybe it can be reiterated.
I think it came straight to me.
Oh, here I see one. Is it bad if one eye is not as dominant as the other? Okay, so eye dominance means that your one eye is doing 80% of your seeing. So your non-dominant eye is not as good as your dominant eye. And some people have something closer to 50-50, but everybody has a dominant eye. Percentages aren't fixed in stone. It's just, on average what most people do.
I'm seeing a lot of you guys. I love it. I'm trying to test it out. Has everybody figured it out? I'd love to know. Let's get a sense in the chat box, because if you can't figure it out, you got an expert here to make sure you're doing it right. Donovan is left. We got a couple. Okay. Is there if you're right? Is there a correlation? I'm just curious between if you're right-handed and which eye.
Oh, okay. So earlier I referenced pure dextral versus cross dextral, and this affects baseball players, tennis players, and golfers more than others. All right, so I'm left eye dominant and right-handed. Okay, so I'm cross dextral because left to right is cross. So if you're right eye and right-handed, then you are pure dextral. Then if you're right eye and left-handed, then you're cross, right? So if it's on the same side, it's pure. If it crosses over, then it's cross dextral. An interesting thing is that I believe Roger Federer is cross dextral, and that's why he watches the ball all the way into his strings. And then I believe that Serena Williams is pure dextral, and that's why she looks at a place ahead of the contact point. So for golfers, pure dextral golfers look at a place halfway between their putting head and the hole. Cross dextral golfers look at their putting head. It makes a difference in how you do that final bit of tracking as the ball approaches the contact point.
It's really interesting.
So yeah, like a hockey player. I know we have some hockey players, right? So if you're pure dextral, you're not going to watch the puck all the way into your stick if you are pure dextral. You're going to look at a place in front of your stick and it's going to go across. If you're cross dextral, then you would try to get that puck to go right on your stick and with your eyes. So it is interesting how that whole work, all that works. So these are great questions. Let's keep them coming.
Yeah, that would be a really important piece to figure out. Think of that little edge right there. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, wait. Speaking of edges, no,
yeah.
I think that's a great comment, because speaking of edges, this woman that I know, who's one of the top visual researchers in the world, she works with Chelsea and Liverpool and F1 drivers and professional tennis players and rugby and field hockey and all these different sports. And her goal is for everyone on the team to make 1% better decisions. And when everybody on your team starts to make 1% better decisions throughout a game, it's night and day what the performance of your team starts to look like. And, Chelsea and Liverpool have had recent, big improvements in their overall performance, largely because of the visual decision-making aspect.
I've got some clarity on the light question, which I don't remember how I worded it before, but she says there's a colored light that can blink fast or slow. That smart light, can this be useful in getting the eye to be stronger and more alert? Are you familiar with that?
I haven't seen the smart light, but I don't know enough to say absolutely yes or no, but I'm guessing that if somebody's gone to the trouble of making such a device, that they've got some research behind it. So I'm going to say, not knowing what it is, I'm just going to trust that these people know what they're doing. So.
All right. At what point do we go to eye doctors? Like, if someone's told me that their right eye doesn't work, you need to see a doctor?
Well, I encounter sometimes people who tell me they have no depth perception. And so then, and generally what I'm finding is those people are pure dextral. They just were never taught any pure dextral skill, right? I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching with athletes, and I have this one particular athlete that I sent him to the eye doctor. So he went to the eye doctor, and then he figured out that he's got an astigmatism. And now here's the tricky part. Okay, when you go to the eye doctor and they say, "Oh, you have a little bit of an astigmatism," right? Then they go, "Yeah, you could have glasses or not." Well, this young man wants to be an elite level tennis player. So the eye doctor actually doesn't really care what they do, but that kid is now going to get a contact in one eye to fix that astigmatism, because that means his eyes are focusing in different places. So it's not catastrophic to him that he has a little bit of a astigmatism, but see, this is where I think people will gain an edge. I think more athletes will start wearing contact lenses, and more of them will actually get them in one eye to get a little edge, to be able to see just that much better and have an edge over people who don't do that. So when you go to the eye doctor, which you really ought to every year for sure, then go to your doctor and say, "Hey, look, I'm an athlete and I'm looking to have the best possible vision that I can. So if I have an astigmatism, I would like to look into getting a contact lens for that." So I think it's a big thing. So good question.
Really interesting. Along those lines, I've coached many players who were very resistant to wear their glasses when they play. So if any of you are in that same boat, which I get it, I'm fortunate enough not to have any prescription glasses of any form, but I can't imagine how frustrating they would be to compete in a sport in. I think this is inspiration and motivation enough to say, put them on.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to see your highest ability?
Here's a funny story. So I was in the middle of writing the second edition of this book, And I was driving home from LA at night, and I was seeing things. Thought I was hallucinating. I was seeing things that weren't there. So I would see a dark shape like going across the road, and then I would like slam on my brakes. There was nobody around. And I was like, what is happening? So I go to the eye doctor thinking that I have some horrible thing wrong with my eyes, right? And so anyway, he says, no, you just need glasses. Your eyes are just tired. Your eyes are tired because you need glasses and you didn't know it. And so you're seeing all these things because your eyes are working overtime to focus. And I was never so happy. And then here's the funny thing. I got my glasses and my tennis game went way up. And then I was like, oh, look, trees have leaves on them. Oh, that's what the big deal about HD TV is. Oh, I get it.
Exactly. You gotta use those tools when they're handed to you. All right,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna throw up the rest here so you can talk about these offers and we can get things
Awesome.
wrapped up a little bit.
Awesome. All right. So if you want my slides and my outline, send a request to Infinite Vision Coach. So just say, please send me slides and outline, and I will do that. And then also, I am writing an ebook which will be ready very shortly. And so if you would like that ebook, send $1 to me at Venmo. Wow, that's so expensive. But that way you'll be able to actually read up on it, and that's a great way to support the learning. And then the next step up, if you're just really super excited, is that I'm doing a one-time offer. This offer is only good for 24 hours. So after tomorrow, this offer is no good, right? $47 for a 20-minute visual training. So what we'll do is we will discuss what are the visual demands of your sport, and then we will come up with a training regimen for you that you will then move forward on. And so then the next thing is that if you're really into it, and this, I think I won't hold you to this. If you do the other stuff, I'll extend this offer longer, but I do 10 30-minute trainings, and that's normally $1,000. And the $497 expires tomorrow, or the next day after you have the $47 20-minute visual training. So, because it wouldn't be fair to ask you to commit to all that if you hadn't tried it out. So you can have a little try-zy for $47. And I look forward to working with you. It's been amazing to be able to work with people one-on-one and see that they are dramatically improving in their strokes and in their game without a dramatic change in their technique of how they play the game. It's really interesting how much improvement can be had there. So thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to hearing, from you, and I want to invite you in, and come try out that 20-minute $47 visual training program. It's going to be where you're going to get some really good stuff from it. It could change your life.
I love it. Well, this was extremely informative. Thank you, Bill, for all of your wisdom, lots of detail, which I always appreciate and I love. Really interesting stuff. I really hope you guys took some notes, and I love what you just said. She said very eye-opening session.
Very eyes-opening.
Perfect.
Yes,
I can't sum it up any better. That was fantastic. Bill, thank you. Have a great night, all.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.